As promised in my previous video, today I'm going to show you a home that is located in North Asheville, and it is such a, first of all, Asheville home and such North Asheville home. It is located kind of on the quiet street right across from the woods and the trail that belongs to, I believe, UNCA, which the status might change soon. But in any case, let me read you the description of this property and then I will take you in. Boho-chic bunker meets Asheville cool. And I think this sums it up pretty perfectly. When you see it inside, you'll know what I'm talking about. The coolest address in Asheville is up for grabs, and it is hiding in plain sight. Truly is in plain sight. It's like I said, it's at the end of a very quiet street, and when you drive here, you kind of thinking like, where am I going? Is this gonna be the end of Asheville? You just like the road gets quieter, not a whole lot going on. There's just a couple of houses, older houses also on one side of the streets right next door, not a whole lot going on. And then you come and see this property that's kind of doesn't have a gate, but does have this front yard, kind of like a courtyard, and as soon as you see it, it's like, it's really cool. Think one level living with a designer's edge, sunlight pouring in, utility bills are so low, you'll double check they're real. And yes, all the furnishings convey. It's turnkey with a side of, did they seriously leave the couch? The furniture is really cool inside the house. Step outside and your Asheville favorites are waiting. Yoga, tacos, happy hour, the farmer's market, brunch. North Asheville, like I mentioned in my previous video, is one of the most walkable parts of Asheville. It's probably the only walkable part of Asheville. And from here, you literally, I can see downtown from here, straight shot. You can walk to grocery stores. You can, like I said, there's a trail right across the house. You can walk to all kinds of places here and all kinds of local places. And this home does not beg for attention. It smirks. We'll see. A little luxe, a little underground. So this home is halfway underground. And from the drone shots, you'll see what I'm talking about. It was etched into the side of the hill. And unapologetically Asheville. Bonus, 2 additional parcels may also be available along with a possible owner financing, and that can be huge for some people, and making this iconic hideout not just a home but an opportunity. So what are we waiting for? Let's go and take a look inside. Again, very unassuming street, and then as soon as you get here, you slow down and you see why they called it boho-chic bunker in Asheville, North Carolina. I love this courtyard, so there's no garage. You will park right here on this gravel, and it feels right here very private, very quiet. I hear a little bit of, is it road noise? Somewhere in the vicinity, but not, for the most part, it's very quiet. It's a very cool entrance here. One of the most important things that I point out to everyone, and when I show properties or look at the properties on somebody's behalf, is as soon as I open the door, it's gotta pass a sniff test. Meaning it's gotta, among other things, smell good or not have any smell, because any kind of smell of moisture, of water, maybe mold, stuffiness can be an indicator of potential problem. And I did not smell anything, considering that this house is halfway underground. So as soon as you come in, you get into pretty open space, living room with the couch that they mentioned. It really is a cool couch, not your regular shape. I like the color. I know it might not be your style, but it really goes well with this house, and then flows into the dining area, and check this out. It's not just a dining area. It's like a breakfast nook meets dining room table. And it's right off of the kitchen with big enough island for the size of the house. Big table seats, you know what, I would say 8 people comfortably, especially this couch right here. You have your electric fireplace, quartz countertops, very cool cabinets, backsplash. There's no pantry, but there is a pantry closet, pantry, you know, cabinet. It's pretty big right here. And so everything is just executed in this unique, very cool style. And as soon as you come inside, you can see how it's the place where you can rewind time in this iconic eco-architectural gem known as the Remington. So this place has a name, Remington. Designed by a local architect, Richard A. Webster, and commissioned by Dr. and Mrs. Lloyd Remington in 1970s. This earth shelter emerges from a hillside in Asheville's Five Points neighborhood, minutes from downtown, adjacent to UNCA trails, Asheville Botanical Gardens, and eclectic restaurants. And if you're not familiar with Asheville or North Asheville specifically, North Asheville is a cluster of a lot of neighborhoods and communities, and so Five Points neighborhood is one of those communities. It is one of the closest to downtown Asheville, so it's kind of on the downtown side of North Asheville, very walkable. There's a ton of local places and very established with eclectic and older homes that a lot of people love to live in or love to move into because they do have access to all kinds of places where they can walk to. Not just walk around in the neighborhood, but they can actually walk to different places. And so this one is an office right now, but it can be used as a bedroom, I believe, and you can easily step outside and back into that front patio, front door area. There's a covered patio right here where you can just sit and have your fire pit going. Yeah, it's pretty quiet. I can hear the birds. All right, let's go look at the rest of the house. And so one of the bedrooms or an office is on one side of the house, and it's, despite the fact that it's halfway underground, it is actually very light with all those kind of like skylights built into the roof. There's the second bedroom right here with the coolest bathroom, very moody with nice wallpaper, very cool light fixtures. Everything is just super cool about this property. Concrete floors, again, goes along with the vibe of the house. I like how they mix the metals, so it's not just black and white or gold or brass, and that's it. I like that. And of course, one of the bedrooms is here. I believe this is a king-size bed, and this is not your primary bedroom. So remember, all the furnishings are up for grabs. They can be negotiated and can be up for purchase if you decide to make an offer, or bring your own style. And across from this bedroom, you have your entrance through this very cool barn door, but not your regular barn door, boho-chic barn door. You get into your primary suite. The little hallway, you got one of the closets that's more like a linen closet, and your primary bathroom, again, with the coolest natural light pouring through those ceiling skylights. The coolest sinks ever. I don't think I've ever seen sinks like that, but so cool. Look at this. Concrete floors. I wonder if they're gonna be cold in winter. My guess is not. Probably they have enough insulation. And the coolest shower. I like a lot about this house, including the tile work. And tile is my weakness. Let me tell you. Shower head here, another shower head here. Let's go into the primary bedroom. Again, it's spacious enough, and very light, despite the fact that it is underground. Half of it is underground. King size bed, 2 big nightstands on both sides. Very vintage looking. I love those lamps. And this ceiling actually reminds me of apartments back home, back in Russia. We had the building codes are a little different back home, you know, and all of our buildings and apartments and homes pretty much are built with concrete walls, concrete ceilings, floors for added insulation. And I just remember having the same ceiling back home in Siberia. But here, back to Asheville, North Asheville, you have, it's not a walk-in closet, which is typical for older homes, especially from the 70s, but you do have double closet, his and her side, and you have your linen closet, king size bed, and again, access to, it's actually pretty easy, and access to your back patio to this side of the courtyard with more seating. You can grill here, sit very privately, and enjoy some wildlife, squirrels. I imagine they have bear, maybe turkey and deer come through, especially with the woods being so close to the property. And yeah, you can see from here how the roof has grass and there's trees that growing on top of it. Pretty cool. And I think a lot of people would have the same questions or concerns about a property like this. And I certainly had those questions when I first came across this property. One of them is, well, how warm is it going to be? Or, you know, it's concrete, it's etched inside or into the hill or into the mountain. So these fluted concrete walls, fun fact, all around this house, even inside interior walls, I see are made with over 200 tons of concrete, and they help regulate the temperature inside the property, inside the house. Another concern that everyone has on their mind and question, especially people who are moving to the area and maybe not familiar with the area, is about damage that some properties had during Hurricane Helene, which we, you know, are right at 1 year anniversary. And that's why one of the things that I did when I opened the door immediately is my sniff test. It's not just to look at what's inside, but to smell. And I didn't smell anything, which is a good sign. It was very neutral, didn't smell anything. I don't see any signs of moisture anywhere. And, you know, in this case, it would probably going to be on the ceiling or on the back side of the property. I don't see anything like that. And it looks like this property withstood Hurricane Helene last year fairly well. At least I don't see any water damage, or I don't smell. There are no signs of that. There might have been some trees that fell down, which that happened all over the place, but water is one of the main enemies of any property, and I don't see any sign of that right here. So very well done. If you have any questions about this super unique property that truly is one of a kind here in the area, or maybe another property caught your eye anywhere on the internet, let me know. Reach out to me and my team. We will discuss your options, your timeline, the process of buying in North Carolina, because it sure is very different from some other states, from some other parts of the town. What new National Association of Realtors rules mean to you as a buyer, what to expect, all those things, what to look out for when purchasing a property here in the area, some area specific things that everyone should be on the lookout for. Schedule your absolutely free call by either scanning this QR code or following the link down in the description, and I'll be happy to discuss all those options with you. And I think we're done for now. We need to get out of here, and I will catch you on the next one.